So, in this first episode, well, my half of the first episode, I know Jane is doing hers at the moment. I have no idea what exactly Jane's sort of side on this is, but the topic for today is music genres and trends in our countries. Obviously, Jane is in the US and I am in England. So, right, okay, music in the UK. I've got to be honest with you, I don't like modern music at all because I'm a very old style 80s, 90s, 70s music. Simply probably because I've got parents that listen to that kind of stuff and I'm always hearing it, so I've kind of just gone along with it. Some music I do like, that's like sort of present music, but I mainly like sort of 70s, 80s, 90s. Over the last 30 years, British pop music has led the world in its range and quality, starting from several new trends really. Britain, along with the US, was the main contributor for development of rock and roll, and Britain has provided some of the most famous bands, including like the Beatles, many others which I can't exactly think of at the moment, but Britain was the forefront for punk music as well in the 1970s, such as the Sex Pistols and the Clash, and another one which I can't remember the name of. And today, sort of, they're more. We have the leading trends of bands for subsequent. For the rebirth of heavy metal music, although that's not really something I know about too much. From the sort of 1920s to now, we've sort of gone from ragtime and jazz to swing, and then in the 1940s we kind of went from frantic dance music to boogie woogie or jitterbug music. I don't quite know what that is, but I've kind of written down some notes I'm reading from that. 1950s, rock and roll became very popular in the UK, especially London's nightlife was full of rock and roll in bars and clubs and things like that. 1960s, obviously the Beatles began in 1960s, so they sort of changed the way England thought about music, and they leapt into fame in 1963 with Please Please Me, I think it was called. I'm sure it was called that. The Beatles moved through the late 1960s. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of what I was going to say. They went with the flower power and started that kind of generation. So many young people in the 1960s, when Beatles began, started enjoying hippie music, as it was called. But other teenagers preferred music, sort of mod music. I think it's called mod music. I did read about it, but it's sort of ska music and the Who and that's the bands like that. In the 1970s. The big new sound of the 1970s was glam rock. The main figures of this were David Bowie, Elton John, and of course Gary Glitter, who my uncle is an absolute fan of. He has probably every record 3 times over. But in the backdrop, these larger, like sort of British bands and characters brought welcome relief with the platform boots, sequins, nail varnish, and colourful hair. I did get some pictures up, which I will add into this. Somewhere you probably see it now. 1980. I seem to have. See, that's the kind of music I'm into. Pink Floyd, that kind of stuff. 1980s. We sort of went into the hip hop and rap music section, but we had a lot of American influence then. Groups such as Run DMC and Grandmaster Flash. I do love Grandmaster Flash, some of his raps, some of his tunes, they are brilliant. I love his, especially one of them, it was an IKEA advert, and if you live in America, I'm guessing you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the IKEA advert and the Grandmaster Flash tune. It was a big thing in America, and it even came over to England, and we had adverts over here, but I mainly saw it online on the American channels. I know it was broadcasted on CBS, and I don't know what CBS is really. I know it's news, but I know nothing about it. I mean, it's not like BBC. We have BBC over here, British Broadcasting. Anyway, in the 1990s, Britpop was the general name given in the 1990s as a new wave of music for British bands, and we were incredibly incredibly affected by the impact in the United States, because they had big things going on there. I didn't read into it much, but the most successful people in the 90s, and I do actually have a list here because I won't remember them, starting from bottom to top, we had the Radioheads, Oasis, Blur, Pulp, Massive Attack, and the most trending band in the 1990s for the United Kingdom, I don't know so much about United States, was the Spice Girls. So yeah, what do you think of that? Anyway, that's my little rant over. I didn't want to go on too long about this because obviously some people won't be interested in music at all, or actually no, everyone loves some kind of music, don't they? I'm sure I do. But my favourite song is Pink, my favourite song of what we were just talking about was probably Pink Floyd, Another Brick in the Wall, and I was actually listening to that before this video and just now I accidentally clicked on the button, and that is just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I like that. I just love that kind of music. So I will see you in the next video. I'm not sure what we're talking about yet, we haven't decided, so you know, we're not keeping anything from you, but as soon as I know and we make the videos, I'll upload it. It'll probably be in the next couple of days, I imagine, because well, I won't be doing anything tomorrow, I know, but yeah. So see you later and have a nice evening.